Hello, welcome to um, this week's, uh, welcome to Laura's Paint Minis. I am Laura, and obviously very awake. No, honestly, it's probably just going off of on autopilot because last, see, it would have been, I guess it would have been 2 nights ago. But the last time I was sitting at the desk with OBS on and painting a mini would have been for doing the paint along. This is probably as focused as it's going to get for right now. Once we get more paint on the mini, camera will be able to focus a little better. We're going to start with the fur. So I did base coat everything in a mix of brown liner and coal black. But we are going to make this more of a gray rabbit. It's actually interesting. This is the second time I'll be painting this mini. I mean, not this particular sculpt, this particular mini, but this Reaper sculpt. I have painted one before. That one I did an albino rabbit, based it off of a bunny that I had as a pet growing up because I had an albino rabbit. It was the whole all white and then those like really red pinkish eyes. This will definitely be a different color scheme than that one that I did. I'm gonna be using a lot of the same colors that I used for the last Harefolk because they are supposed to go together. Does not want to focus. Here. Just switch that. I know it's kind of over or underexposed, I guess, but at least a little bit staying a little bit more clear. So yeah, I was doing the paint along, recording the paint along the other night. That I am doing the werebear from Bone 6 of Reaper. Kind of doing it in this with like it's kind of like an Arctic werebear, so I'm kind of leaning into polar bear. But also doing kind of a split color scheme of blue. Well, let's see. It'd be blue, green, and red, orange, technically. I was doing it'll technically be next week's video unless you join my Patreon, and then you can watch it now. I do early access on my Patreon as like a thanks for supporting me. But I was finishing up all the rest of the metallic bits. So yeah, it's nice to get all of the metallics done. I don't know. I had tried kind of like focusing on specific sections and like finishing everything in like that section, even if they were different types of things. Like finishing up everything that was on the arm. So like I mean, with the werebear, with the one arm had a pauldron and leather armor, and or well, I painted it as leather armor. And a shield. So there's a lot of different types of surfaces, really. It just felt slower than it, you know, if I were to focus on like all the leather or all the metal. Even though it meant that like there was a whole section of the mini that was pretty much completely done. I just didn't like it as much. But I mean, it is certainly a way of doing of painting, of an order of doing things. So it's always good to try out different ways of painting things, just to see if maybe doing it different, if maybe you realize you like it better. there, Tech Knight. Got my basilisk sold. So I will need to get that packaged up and get a pickup scheduled. I forgot to do the front of the ears here. Had another D&D session last night with playing my Fathomless Warlock. we had leveled up, so it was I had a chance to kind of change out some spells. And then I also got a chance to actually use my familiar, which I had summoned towards the end of the previous session. So, and I have the Pact of the Chain, so I get to get a more cool familiar. So I have a pseudo dragon. It's like a kind of bluish white. So that came in handy because we were traveling to go investigate one of 3 possible leads, I guess, we have on where there's a cult lady leader and her priestess, or priest, because I think it was a guy actually, so a priest, um, escaped when we defeated the cultists. But then we encountered so my pseudo dragon was up ahead, of course. So that's one of the best things to use a familiar for, is to scout. And saw some bugbears attacking people up ahead. And by the time we got there, the bugbears had already left. But they found out they had taken the daughter of the 2, like, I guess it's like there's 2 noble elves types, and they're sort of guards. So we immediately ran off, followed the tracks. They weren't, the bugbears weren't really trying to hide their tracks at all, so it was easy. They were just kind of far off ahead of us. And we are currently just beginning to enter a cave. We fought the at least 6 bugbears, which is how many I saw through Pseudo Dragon. But we have not found the daughter. And there's definitely more cave to explore. So, but that's about where we left off. We have like 8 people well, last night there was 1 missing, so there was like, so then that would have been just 7. So it's a big group. So, you know, and we only do really about 2-ish hours every 2 weeks. Yeah, it's fun. I was a little sad. The one person that was gone, I had been thinking about. I had 2 ideas of that involved kind of working with them, their character, to help with kind of more some personal goals for my character. And because the bar slash inn tavern that we're staying at, the owner, someone from my past, or my character's past, and but she's not being completely open with everything and keeps avoiding the topic of the past. So I need to get creative. She's pretty much stonewalling me, and So I need to get creative about how if I'm going to get more information or anything out of her, I'm gonna have to get creative. The other person is also a warlock, but they're definitely not the same kind, and they seem to be kind of very sneaky in the shadows, more so than uh, my character. But then they weren't there, and we've left the city now, so we'll see. One of the other places to investigate is actually where my character is from, but that's also also the furthest away from where we are at. So it will be the last one we check. But yeah, it's fun. I think our DM does a good job of letting everyone get a chance to say, talk, make input, whatever. Which is hard when you have that many people. It can be hard. We do have a lot of, well, I at least have a lot of gold, personal gold. So I was kind of originally thinking of saving that to maybe help buy information if I need to. But at the same time, I have a very low AC. Well, not very. It's low. I think it's the lowest of the party. I'm pretty sure. It's AC 12. It certainly could be worse. It's just funny because our wizard has a higher AC than I do. I feel like usually it's the wizards who have the lowest AC. But then again, my HP is pretty good. It's uh, kind of up there at the top. Got like 57 for max HP for at level 6. I think I took the tough feat, so I get an extra boost in the HP from that with every level. I also have spells that kind of punish people for getting either in close contact, into melee range, or like attacking me. So I don't know. It's actually not been a problem too much so far, because I do very much play the range fighter. I have melee capabilities. Like I keep Green Flame Blade prepared. And that uh, gives a little boost to the melee attack. But it's not going to be like super awesome compared to just being able to do my range attacks. Quite often I do a duo of summon or move fathomless tentacle. I attack with that because you can, when you attack or move it, if there's someone within 10 feet of it, you can choose to attack it immediately. And then, of course, Eldritch Blast. Because the tentacle is only a bonus action, and then, so yeah. I do keep an eye on like what is actually going on in the fight though, and the spells that I have. So there's some spells that I have that I can think of some situations that would be better to use those instead of my signature moves. Got a couple of kind of like charm like type spells. Got a couple of the Hadar based spells because, you know, it's fun just playing into the whole like, you know, it describes it as like tendrils or something like that. So it's like, you know, that's for fun, kind of plays into the fathomless thing a little bit. Some of the things with the fathomless, like I haven't really been able to use because we're mostly on land. It is definitely better when you maybe got more of a mix. Because like I have right off the bat of choosing that, you get like swimming speed and you can breathe underwater. And then with this recent level up, I can now, so when I and someone else is fully submerged, I can understand them when they're talking and they can understand me talking. underwater. But right now we're mostly just traveling on land, not really anywhere near the sea. I'm gonna make a glaze. Will help smooth some of these areas out a little bit. We had like a quick little shopping at the beginning of last night's session, and others were all like, I'm gonna go to get these potions and this armor, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go get some more incense and herbs just so I can cast Find Familiar again if I need to. Usually I do. I feel like with my other characters, I definitely have like gotten into like looking up of like, oh, it would be cool if they had this weapon or this armor or whatever. But I don't know. It probably would be nice to have a little bit better armor, but I also feel like it's definitely the type of campaign where having some money, if I'm wanting information, having a good amount of money can help in getting that. Okay. I just do like try and get a little quick base coat on the leather. I know for sure where I want to put that leather color that I use, that I did on the other Harefolk. Pretty much similar places will be the belt and the pants on this one as well. I know it's not terribly different from the base coat because that's because there is brown liner in the what I did with the base coat. So now I'm doing brown liner mixed with a tiny bit of rich leather. So I mean on the palette you can see the difference. This right here is essentially the base coat, and then this is what I just put on for the leather. So you can see a little bit more of a difference when you've got some white to kind of contrast between the two. But yeah, belt and pants will be leather for sure. So yeah, I think pretty good start. Probably need a little bit of touch up here, but I think I'll save that for later. So it'll be easier once I get more things painted there. So yeah, that'll be it for today. Monday we'll be back with the kobolds. these little guys. I did highlight the tan bit part a little bit more Monday night, so it's up even higher than what I had it. So I might be messing around, doing a little more highlights on them. I only got like 2 of the 5 fully done with the tan part. So yeah, we'll be back with these guys Monday. Probably doing some more of the scales, but we'll see. Maybe I'll want to move on and do something different for a little bit. We'll see. But that is the plan for Monday. I hope y'all have a good weekend, and yeah, you too, Deck Knight. And I'll see you Monday. Bye.